After 12 years apart, Dr. James Mitchell, a wildlife conservationist, was reunited with Kenzo, the silverback gorilla he had raised from infancy. The reunion took place deep in Rwanda's Volcanoes National Park, and James hoped Kenzo would remember him, despite the long separation. James, now 52, had come back to Rwanda with the support of Maya Rutkowski, a primatologist who had studied gorillas for years. James and Maya ventured into the dense bamboo forest, where James once worked at the Sankankwe Gorilla Orphanage. The memory of caring for orphan gorillas, including Kenzo, was still fresh. Kenzo had been found next to his poached mother when he was just 3 months old. James, grieving the loss of his wife, Ava, connected deeply with the baby gorilla. Over time, their bond grew strong, with James spending months comforting and feeding Kenzo. Kenzo's bond with James became legendary, and James even stayed in the orphanage's small closet to remain close to the young gorilla. This unorthodox approach to bonding became a model for rehabilitating orphan gorillas, dramatically increasing their success rate. Despite the passage of time, James never stopped thinking about Kenzo. Months before returning to Rwanda, James received a video from Dr. Sarah Luna, showing a silverback gorilla with a distinctive white patch above his right eye, identical to Kenzo's. Sarah had captured footage of the gorilla displaying unusual behaviors that aligned with Kenzo's early days. James, initially uncertain, soon recognized familiar gestures, reigniting hope that Kenzo might remember him. Guided by Maya, James and his team tracked the gorilla family. They eventually encountered Kenzo, now a massive silverback leading a group of gorillas. Instead of reacting aggressively to the humans, Kenzo cautiously approached James, which was a surprising response for a wild gorilla. The emotional moment confirmed that Kenzo recognized James. Kenzo, instead of showing typical aggressive behavior, reached out to James in a gentle gesture. He held out his right hand, just as he had as a baby. This simple act was a profound sign that the bond between them had not been forgotten. The reunion was filled with emotion, as Kenzo demonstrated a calm affection that spoke volumes about his memory and connection to James. The emotional exchange lasted nearly 2 hours, during which Kenzo balanced his attention between James and his family. He interacted peacefully with James, demonstrating a unique level of empathy for a wild animal. Kenzo's actions showed that his early life with James had left an indelible mark on him. Eventually, it was time for James to say goodbye. Before leaving, Kenzo pressed his forehead to James' chest, a gesture of trust and affection. James, moved by the profound reunion, whispered his gratitude, knowing that this might be their last encounter. The bond between them, forged through love and care, had surpassed species boundaries. Maya, deeply affected by what she witnessed, documented the extraordinary event, realizing it would change how people viewed gorillas and their emotional depth. She marveled at Kenzo's ability to remember and his compassionate interactions, proving that gorillas could form deep, lasting connections. In the months following the reunion, James and the Sankankwe Gorilla Orphanage introduced the Kenzo Protocol, a rehabilitation method that emphasized building trust and emotional bonds with orphan gorillas. James' reunion with Kenzo became a symbol of the deep connection possible between humans and animals, inspiring new approaches to wildlife conservation.